guys, welcome to another video. I recently turned 25 2 days ago now, and I'm 100% having a quarter-life crisis. I may cry in this segment, I may not, I don't really know. I just high-key had to break down to my boyfriend, so I may have gotten the tears out, or it might be setting me up to have more tears, I don't know. But I opened up to you guys like a few months, it was in the winter, how I was saying how I just feel very lost, you know, like in my life. I feel very insecure about my future. I still have been having like good days and bad days since then, like very up and down. But it's summer now, it's months later, and I still am feeling that way. And I came across an old video actually, like maybe a week ago now. I was just stating how I always want to be very open and raw and honest and authentic with you guys. And it reminded me and really showed me how much I really have closed up on this channel, I feel like. And I think that just naturally is what comes with more eyes on you, like it's a lot more vulnerable, you know. But this, I think, is something that is really important for me to share, because I know that so many other people feel this way going through life, especially with social media. And I think with all the comparison that's going on, and there's always this talk of timelines and how quickly people can become successful, whatever that means, because there's so many different meanings to so many different people. The last thing I want is to feed into that narrative and make everyone else who's watching me feel like I have my life together, I'm always feeling totally fine, and you guys are the ones that are all behind, because that is so far from the truth. Like, I have been struggling so much with so many different things. I've really been struggling so much with feeling secure in my future, with knowing what I want to do with myself. I feel like I have a wide skill set that I have. I feel like I have quite a bit of knowledge. I feel like I have a ton of passion, and I feel like I have this really deep craving to really leave a lasting impact and feel very fulfilled by my career choice, and I genuinely want to help and impact people. I guess I'm not entirely sure of the medium to do that yet, or how to do that in the capacity that I want to. And I know it is okay in the grand scheme that I don't know that answer yet, that I don't know the how. But feeling in this in-between and this uncertainty can be very scary. When you're in your 20s like this, like again, 25, I'm hitting my mid-20s, like I guess I just also feel this immense pressure to and I know it sounds so stupid when you're saying out loud, because I know if someone else was telling me this, I'd be like, dude, like just chill, like you don't need to know the answers. But I definitely feel this immense pressure to set myself up for the dream life that I've always wanted. Like, I feel like the time to do that is now. And so I feel all this pressure, and I feel all this pressure to like figure my life out, and I feel all this pressure to like do all these things before I'm 30. And I realized that I really need to work on healing my relationship with aging. And I think it really stems from my family, and I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to. Like, I don't have a fear of necessarily getting older. Like, that concept doesn't scare me. It's this concept of like running out of time to do the things I've always wanted to do. And I think another layer of that is like when you're younger, like when I'm 16, 17, 18, I'm like dreaming and, you know, fantasizing about my future. There seems to be so much more potential because there's so much time there. You know what I mean? Like, you think you have the whole world and life ahead of you. I guess at that point, I thought I would be somewhere else by 25, if that makes sense. And so I'm almost mourning where I thought I would be. I'm mourning the life that I thought I would have by this point. And I'm working on accepting where I am right now, because 18-year-old me thought I would be a lot farther along. But I don't think that's fair of me to like hold me to my 18-year-old self's expectations, because she didn't know any better. Like, she didn't know the reality of what it was gonna be. So I think it's that, like, mourning where I thought I would be has been really hard for me right now, being 25, and two, feeling like I'm running out of time to create the life I've always wanted to, and being fearful that it's never gonna come through for me, I guess. I just feel like your 20s can be such an overwhelming time, because I do believe it is a defining decade in the sense of like you are laying the foundation for your 30s. I really do believe that. And that's not to say like you have to have everything figured out for it, but it just definitely comes with its own pressure and like overwhelming thoughts, because there's also so many different things I could do in my 20s. There's so many different paths, but you also need to kind of choose one. But circling back to what I was saying about healing my relationship with aging, it definitely comes from my family. Like, so many people in my family are always saying like, oh, I'm old, I'm old, I'm old, I'm running out of time, I'm running out of time. And that makes me fearful. And like, I guess since I'm the youngest one of my siblings, I was always deemed as the young one. And so now that I'm like 25, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not like young anymore. Like, I'm really an adult now. And so now I feel this fear because I'm like, oh, I'm getting to the age where they always said that they were old. And I think that is just such a toxic mindset to have, to be honest. And I'm realizing that, and I know that, because it really, feeling like you're running out of time does nothing but prevent you from actually like taking action on your dreams and like doing it from a balanced place energetically. And like, that's when you start to act out of rush and desperation and lack, and like nothing ever good comes from that. So like, I really want to work on, especially the rest of this year, like really making peace and finding the beauty and the advantage in getting older, and, you know, affirming to myself that I do have time, that like timelines are completely made up, that are not real, they're a fantasy. Like, timelines are only built out of comparison, and there's competition is not real. There's no need to compare to anyone else. Like, everyone is on their own timeline in life, and like, I really need to affirm that to myself. And like, the things that I really want, like a really fulfilling, impactful life, career-wise, family, home life-wise, personal life, like if I really want to make this fulfilling life, like it shouldn't matter to me how long it takes or when it happens. It should just matter to me that it happens. And so I shouldn't feel so caught up of like this timeline and feeling like I'm running out of time, and now I'm only 5 years left to 30, I have all these things left to do there. Like, I think I really just need to release that narrative of the timelines, because all of that, the need for a timeline and rush and feeling like you're running out of time, is all only stemming from the egoic mind. It's not your higher self speaking. Your higher self is never in a rush, and I need to remember that. Other layer that I wanted to touch on with you guys too, and just be open about, because I think I can come across as like super confident and like have all this self-love, and I did do a ton of work. I did a ton of work on that in my early 20s, and I felt like I got to such a comfortable place of true self-love, of true self-worth, of knowing my power, of stepping into my power. And I talked about that a lot in my podcast, and I really, like, I thoroughly did the work, and I felt so much better. And I really felt like from my foundation, like I really worked on those things. But like lately, like the past 6 months, like maybe even into a year, but especially really recently in the past, like, you know, previous 3 months, it's like I have been struggling so much with my self-confidence, with knowing who I am, with knowing my worth. And it's frustrating because it's like my mind knows better, but it's almost like I can't, it's like not being put into practice. And so I'm frustrated with myself because I know better. And so I'm like, why do I still feel this way if I know all this stuff isn't the truth? If I if I logically know, you know, all of these things about myself, that I am inherently worthy, that I am deserving, that I have every right to be confident, that I deserve to have a high self-image. It's like, for some reason, it's not like clicking, it's not applying to me. I can't, I'm struggling so much to embody it. And it's such like a defeating, debilitating feeling, and it's been bleeding over in like so many different areas of my life. I constantly just feel less than, I constantly feel not good enough, I constantly feel like I'm not doing enough. I think I'm just really going through a lot of shifts in my foundation in my life. And recently I got into numerology a few months ago. I listened to a great podcast episode. If I could find it, I'll link it in the description box. Numerology is like built on the theory of numbers, and like each number stands and like signifies different things and have different themes, and like each year you have a different year number, and that corresponding number to your year kind of will speak on behalf of certain themes that you're most likely going to be experiencing in that year. And for me, I'm currently in a year 4, which number 4 is all about, like, it's basically, this year is about like rebuilding your foundations, reassessing your foundations, like kind of establishing your home life, your home foundation. It doesn't have to be literally your home, but like kind of your home base, what you deem as home. Maybe it's just internally or externally, you know, reestablishing the foundation of your career, of your relationships, of all these things. And I resonate so much. I feel like I'm really going through a huge season of reestablishing myself in a lot of different ways, foundationally, internally, emotionally, with my sense of self, with my approach to things, with my lifestyle, with where I want to live. Like, I definitely feel like I'm at this kind of reset period, and I don't want to discount what I have done because I am very proud of the things that I have done in the past 4 years since living here in Utah. Like, I really have done a lot, and I was journaling about that the other day. Like, I graduated college. Like, I did so many different things in these past 4 years that I don't always realize and remember. And so I need to remember that, because sometimes I also feel like I've been just wasting time and how did all these 4 years go by and all these things, but it's like I definitely have been moving the needle. And I think right now it's really about me trusting that I have been planting the seeds, and trusting that harvest to come, and trusting that clarity will come, and trusting that, you know, it's all in divine timing. And if I don't understand things right now, it's just because I'm still in the happening of everything, and I'm still in the process of learning the lesson. But so yeah, I just feel like I needed to get that off my chest. Like, I also unintentionally took months off the podcast, which really was not premeditated at all. I got really busy, and so I was like, okay, I'll get back to it after Bali. But then after Bali, I didn't even feel like a pull to the podcast. Like, I wasn't getting all these downloads. I wasn't having necessarily things on my heart that I like really wanted to share. And I am feeling more like warmed up to it now, but I think it's just speaking on behalf of that I'm really in this like introspective, evolving, learning phase of my life right now. I have to trust that it's really preparing me for my next phase. And with that, I need to find my phone, because shout out Jordan. She has been on both my Costa Rica retreats and my Bali retreat. She saw my story the other day that I posted of just feeling super overwhelmed in my 20s, and like really overwhelmed about what I'm doing with my future and all of these things, and just feeling like lack of confidence. And she sent me this blurb that was in a book that she's reading, and it was amazing, and I figured I would leave it with you guys here as well, because it was very comforting and like an optimistic outlook. It says, one of the characteristics of having a big destiny is that things don't work out for you right away. There are delays and unexpected times of quiet. The plans you had for your life are unraveled, and you're asked to conceive of a new vision, one grander than you had the capacity to imagine in the first place. These rest periods are actually life's way of giving you an opportunity to work on yourself, to invest in who you want to be, to heal, to release. These times are not just to be tolerated or waded through, but used. They are quiet gifts that will lead you to the path you were really meant to be on. And I resonate with that so much, because I have felt stuck the past year and everything, and I think that it really is just this time for me to heal. And I think that, you know, especially in my early times with the podcast and everything, like, I think healing is kind of like, I heard this somewhere, that healing is like an onion, where there are these different layers to it. So healing isn't like, oh, here's all the things that you have to heal, good, you're done for the rest of your life. It's like this constant spiral that kind of doesn't ever end, because each time you're like discovering new layers of yourself and new pieces of yourself. And so like me 2-3 years ago, like, I think I really did do a great job at what was being presented to me that needed to heal on the surface of the lessons that were presented to me on the surface. But now I'm 3 years deeper into life, right? And there's more to me now that's coming up, that's surfacing, and I feel like I'm almost at a new round of healing, if that makes sense. And of course, that's why I also heard I think there's a podcast, it's called Spiraling Upwards. I feel that way as well. Like, it's kind of like this constant cyclic, you know, evolution. But the point is that I'm not back in the same place that I was 3 years ago, even though it feels like it. I may be at the same point, but I'm up here now, right? Because I'm constantly evolving upwards, I'm spiraling upwards. So I may be at another round of healing that seems where I was before, but I'm up here, not down here. I have more life experience under my belt. I've done more things. I've seen more things. I've experienced more things. And so I think it's just, I've hit this kind of cyclical point again where I'm going through some healing again. Some wounds have showed up again. Some insecurities have shown up again. And I am also reminding myself, which I want to do a podcast on this, that these are all getting brought up to show me the things that I need to heal, because these are things that I cannot take with me to my next level that I'm wanting to go in life. These are all like limiting beliefs, these are all traumas, these are all fears, these are all things that cannot come with me if I'm wanting to up level. So they're surfacing so that I can get rid of them, so that I can move forward. And that's just, I think, where I'm at right now, is working through all of that and remembering who I am again, what it means to truly step into my power and just really deepen and root into the things I knew and still know of, but things I learned 3 years ago. Now I have an opportunity to deepen even more, root into them even more, into these higher belief systems, more self-serving belief systems, so that I can be better set up to move forward in the, you know, my next phase of life, wherever that is. That was like definitely a long rant. This could be the video in and of itself. But I think my boyfriend and I are gonna go hike right now, which is exactly what I need. I need to go touch some grass and maybe I'll go hug a tree. Who knows? But if you just turned 25 or you're turning 25 soon, or maybe you're younger than me, older than me, maybe you're 29, maybe you're 22 and you are having a crisis right now in life, you're not alone, and age doesn't matter. Thank you guys for listening to me if you did. And I know some people think crying online is embarrassing, but I don't think it's embarrassing. I think it's cool to be very vulnerable because that means you're strong. So if this helps someone, or you can relate to anything I'm saying and can bring you some comfort, like, I'm good. I feel fulfillment. So let's go for a hike. Because I've never hiked up here before. I've hiked where we ski, but not like this main area. This is like basically the home run area, kind of right before you're at the base of the mountain in a way. But like this is a ski run that we bomb. This is town lift right here. And then you go down here to get back to the base. In the summer. Really? Yeah, that's decent. So we're able to take the town lift back down basically into Main Street, and then from there we're gonna walk back up to where our car is. But I've never ridden a chairlift in the summertime, so I'm loving this.
Alright, I gotta get out. I gotta get in. Just sit go. Gotta slow my breathing down, you know what I mean? 2 minutes might be a little long. Alright, well, can you hit the timer? Because now we don't know. You should have did it at 1 minute.
You're totally not even in.
Oh man, this is nice. Ooh, it really works. It's good that we can both do it now. This is like a first. Oh, that was just amazing. Oh my God, honey. Wow.
Feels pretty good, don't it?
Sounds pretty good.
I want to do a haul. You want to do a haul with me?
Come on, lady, be a YouTuber.
I'm gonna close this vlog out with doing a little grocery haul. We went to Costco and then Trader Joe's, which I did get 2 new books because I was reading a book. It was called Daisy Jones and the Six. I forget the author's name. I think her name's Taylor or something. She was the author of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I loved that book. And then I still have not finished it since then. I'm like 65% of the way through and I just have not been wanting to pick it up, and I realized it's just because I don't like the book. Like, it's kind of boring. So I don't really like that one. So I got The Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've heard such good things about this book. But then I also got The Lost Bookshop, which I already started reading on the way home. I'm so excited about this one. And it's apparently about like a magic bookshop, which I can totally do for some fantasy right now. This one is kind of another love story-esque book. From Costco, I didn't get a lot. I just re-upped on these Chomps beef sticks. These tasted extra good today. I don't know if it's just because I was hungry, but They were really hitting the spot. And then I also got some eggs. I usually go there for the organic eggs because there's like an 18 or 24 pack for a really good price, but they were out of those. All the rest of this is from Trader Joe's. So I got some more plain Greek yogurt, which I'm happy to say I have been getting over my egg ache, which is good news. But I'm still wanting to up the protein in my breakfast, so I'm still wanting to do a little bowl of Greek yogurt. I got some blueberries. I got 2 mangoes, bananas. I also got 2 avocados, a pineapple. I got a pineapple kombucha as well. This is my first time trying it. Honestly, had higher hopes. Wasn't bad, but wasn't in love with it. And then I also got some dried mango, which I'm super excited. I've been craving that. And then I really do like these little dried fruit bars by Trader Joe's. I've honestly been kind of detoxing from protein bars a little bit. I haven't been having them every day. So I just got 1 of the Bear Bells bars in case of an emergency. For produce, I just got some frozen broccoli. I got some zucchini and yellow squash. Forgot I also got some peaches. And then I found these. These are Norwegian sourdough rye crisps. Which, you know, like the rye chips in the Chex Mix bag? That's what this is supposed to be, I'm assuming, but sourdough edition. We're gonna do a taste test, duh. And the ingredients honestly aren't that bad. Okay, they look a little interesting. They honestly smell like some sense of animal feed, like on a farm. Honestly, not bad. This would be really good with some sort of dip or hummus. Honestly, I recommend these. And then for meat and protein, I got 2 different kinds of some ground beef. I got a grass-fed steak. I got some more turkey bacon, which I've also been on a hiatus, but I'm bringing that back because again, I really need to up my protein intake for breakfast. And then I also got some chicken breast. And the last thing I got was this green goddess dressing because for some reason I've really been craving salads as well. So I thought this would be a really easy dressing to throw on, and it also has good ingredients. It's only made with olive oil. That's it for my random healthy grocery haul. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.